What is up, y'all? Welcome to today's video where we're going to kind of talk about the subscriber challenge that we did over the weekend. I'm going to give you my thoughts on it. I'm going to be reaching out to the individuals who participated. I've already spoken to a few, and to continue to get some feedback. Before we jump into all of it, I just want to do a quick run through of the results. I'm going to call out pretty much everybody that entered a fish. Carrie Cates was in 11th place. Eugene Mackey finished in 10th place. Derek Blanchard was in 9th place. Shane Lamont was in 8th place. Zach Hudson was in 7th place. James McFerrin finished in 6th. Jim Ansel finished in 5th. Dustin Muse finished in 4th. Mark Walker finished 3rd. James Quinn finished 2nd. And your winner of the $250 subscriber prize pack is what we're going to call it. Because what I'm going to do is I'm going to have the winner contact me, and we're just going to work it out. I'm not going to just force something down their throat that they may not use, but we'll do any number of things from the participating sponsors that I've got to make sure that Daryl Harrelson, the winner of the subscriber challenge series on Fish Donkey, gets out of that what he wants. So congratulations to Daryl Harrelson. Put up 96 and a quarter inches, which is pretty impressive. And so listen, I thought it was cool. The app limited us to 20 and then created quite a bit of confusion when they turned around, and the way that they shut the challenge down was to raise the entry fee to $5,000. So I didn't know they were going to do that. And then all of a sudden, I got people blowing me up, asking me why the entry fee is $5,000 on a free challenge. So what it was is we set the challenge up, and I told them that, I was going to post it on social media, for my subscribers, and they didn't think it was going to be that many people jump on it. And I told them it was. And anyway, so it got over 20. They locked it down, but the only way that the guy knew how to lock it down was to increase the entry fee to something stupid. Luckily, nobody here's a baller and paid the $5,000 for the entry fee, because that would have been crazy and complicated. We'd actually just had to do a refund. But anyway, so we ran the challenge. There was a few things I liked about the app. I like the fact that they have the video release, feature on the side. I definitely think that that's something that is coming in the future for kayak fishing. Actually talked about that on the KBF members only page last night. Got mixed reviews on the feedback. But anytime you introduce a new concept, there's always mixed reviews. So Daryl, reach out to me. Shoot me an email, kayakbassfishing@gmail.com. So it's simply kayakbassfishing@gmail.com. Y'all don't blow my email up. I put my personal contact info out there all the time. You guys have been super respectful. I really appreciate that. And then, just so Daryl, shoot me an email, and we'll get together. We'll go through the sponsor list, and we'll figure out what works best for you. And then we'll announce it in the next video, exactly what you chose. And I'll give a shout out for the sponsor that stepped up and helped make that happen. So let's talk about the app. Okay, so I really wanted to find an app. Love TourneyX. I love the features, and it's great for your more premium events. But, there is a real chance, with as engaged as you knuckleheads are as my subscribers, that if I posted a tournament up, it would be like 1,000 people. And so like at $5 an angler, that's $5,000, and it takes a lot out of a small, entry fee prize pool. So I wanted to find something that allows us to run some lower cost, lower barrier to entry challenges that are fun, that give you guys an opportunity to win stuff. It helps me engage our community, and it also helps promote our sponsors. So win-win for everybody. There was a lot of problems with Fish Donkey on the backside, from the standpoint of, like, I changed the score on a couple of people's fish, and then later they would email me and say, what happened to my fish? But nothing was saved on the backside, so I couldn't remember exactly what it was. So I would have had to catalog each entry, which would have been fine with this 20-person tournament. But if we tried that with like 600 or 700 or 1,000, it wouldn't work. So I'm going to try out a bunch of other stuff. I'm also going to continue to try to see if we can figure out something with TourneyX where we can do it a little more cost effective. But it's also cool to try out the different apps and features and things that are out there, because it's kind of the future of catch, photo, release. Just like when we started with kayak bass fishing, there was really no other tournaments or very few other tournaments. Now there's more tournaments, and because there's more tournaments, more opportunity, there's going to be more, competition in the app space as well. And so it's only natural that there's things that come out. So on the user side, most of the feedback was that the app was pretty clean, it was pretty easy. The problem is to run a bigger tournament, anything over 50 to 75 people, it would be very complicated. And until they're able to update their feature sets in the back, it's going to be a little more difficult. I'm not sure if you guys can see the screen there, but like here's a fish person. So when you click on it, it opens up their fish. And then if this would say unverified, if it's not verified, and then you click on it and you make the adjustment. Actually, let me see if I can show you. So I click on that right there, just like that, and I would make the adjustment right there. But there's nothing that records what the adjustment is, and there's no way to send the notification to the angler. Plus, it's got all the angler's contact info right here. So the expectation is that the tournament director is going to make the adjustment and then contact the person. And I've got a problem with that for a couple of reasons. One, if you're fishing in a tournament, and let's say there was an entry fee where you have a little bit more vested in it than free, which free isn't free when you've got to invest your time in it, and I respect your time. But let's just say you were missing an identifier, and then I DQ'd it. Well, then you went fishing, you caught 4 more fish, and as you uploaded them, I kept DQing your fish, and then you looked back later and was like, wait a minute, what happened? There should be a way for you to get a notification immediately if you've got an adjustment, a deduction, a DQ or something like that. And so I've given that feedback to Fish Donkey. One of the things that was just my kind of initial assessment is they were more interested in explaining why they did it the way they did it instead of being receptive to feedback to make it better. That could just be my perception. But at the same time, there's a lot of options out there. So we're going to run through as many of them as we can. If you guys are interested in getting more involved in more serious challenges, definitely head over and tournaments. Head over to tourneyx.com, download the TourneyX Pro app because there's lots of opportunities on there, not just with KBF, but with other organizations and groups and things along those lines. So I definitely recommend doing that. But what we're going to do next is we're going to try out another app called Fish Donkey. And we're not going to do another tournament with Fish Donkey. We're going to try another tournament with an app called Half a Spot. So it's got that. Let me close it back again. It's got this logo on the front. Automatically, it looks like a deer, and see that? Looks like a deer and a fish head facing in opposite directions. HAFASPOT. So go download here. Actually, I can type it on here. Go download the Half a Spot app and look for a tournament on there very soon. I'll come back to you guys when I have it set up. I'm going through the process right now of trying to set a tournament up. It's kind of cool. This app is socially engaged on the front side. It's got a social feed, but then you can click on it and it's got your own profile. Can you see that? Nope, maybe not. And it's got all of these different categories. It's got a news feed, your profile, a search feature, messages, weather. You can find a store on there. You can do your So Lunar. You can click on this little trophy right here for online tournaments, and then it opens up all of the available tournaments. So that's actually pretty cool. In fact, there's a couple of them on there right now that are ongoing. What you may want to do is go try this one, the April Catch Video Release Challenge. I think it's still open registration. Go watch some of the go look at the leaderboard and go watch some of the entries from other people. But yeah, it was a big cluster when they posted up that $5,000 entry fee. And literally, I think I had 135 texts in like 20 minutes. And then all through the weekend, I had people messaging me, and it was confusing as to how the app should work or not work. And again, on my side, it was painful. There was a few things that I like. I do like the video release feature. I did like the speed of the app. The app was pretty non-binding. It didn't, bog down at all. And the interface for scoring the fish was really good. I wish, as a judge, it had the ability to make the deductions and notify through a push notification the angler of what the adjustment was. And I really wish it was a little easier to set up events in it. You could tell the app was more designed for the user interface and not a lot of time, effort, and energy went into the people who are going to set the tournaments up and running to make it easy for them. So there's a couple on here that I'm interested in. I became familiar with this app because we partnered with Iron Kayaker on in Mexico, and they run a series down there, and the top 10 anglers from their series were qualified to come to or are qualified to come to the Kayak Bass Fishing National Championship. It obviously got rescheduled to October 7th, 8th, and 9th, but those guys are still coming, and we still have a great relationship, and we're going to use this year as qualification for next year. So stay tuned. Daryl, please shoot me an email, and we'll get together on claiming your prizes. And then we'll run another one of these real soon. Maybe I'll even have one set up in the next day or two, and I'll post it up and leave it running for 2 weeks. One other thing I wanted to talk to you about is head over to angler.com, the app, Angler app, right there. See that right there? Angler, that right there. Yeah. So head over to Angler and check out the Tyler's Real Fishing event. There's some other challenges on there, and then check the Fish USA Fish Off. I'm going to be running that. So that's a really fun, easy, low barrier to entry challenge, and we're going to be doing some cool stuff on there. Now what I'm going to do is just stop talking, and I'm going to answer some of your questions. So let me run through the questions that I have so far. What's up, Zach? What's up, Parker? Computer guy. Chad, when are you coming back to Briary? Maybe this fall. Or, I'm sorry. I was supposed to come in May. That's obviously not going to happen because there's a domino effect from all the stuff. So now I'm looking at this fall. So I'd say a strong possibility I'm coming back this fall. I thought the entry fee was meant to be a joke. Yes, so did I. Now that it's cleared up where I can and can't fish. Okay, cool. It was fun. Thank you. The app worked great. Enjoyed it. Very easy to use. I like digital live well as well. Thanks again. Thanks, Derek. Appreciate that feedback. It looks like the Fish Donkey app can be narrowed down to regional. Yeah, you can actually set the parameters for whatever you want. Growing Pains of Tournament Fishing says Just Plain Mark. Absolutely. Oh, by the way, Just Plain Mark won one of these hats. My post office was closed when I went there today. Didn't realize they had amended their hours. So, Mark, I'll get that out to you tomorrow, hopefully. And then I did another giveaway for one of these hats. And then I've also got this ongoing deal all this week on any of my videos or any of my socials. Tag at Columbia PFG and the hashtag my hats off to you. And I will be picking some more winners for these hats. Now that I've gotten a little bit caught up, I can start doing that on a more regular basis. Pedro Fernandez said, hi from Portugal here. Congrats on the KBF project. You should look at partners here already have bass and FLW. Cheers. So Pedro, talk to your partners there and tell them to reach out to me. I actually have every bit of interest in doing that and would love to get a Portugal affiliate to qualify for the Kayak Bass Fishing National Championship, which ultimately down the road is probably going to become the Kayak Bass Fishing World Championship, because when we get several countries involved, it's no longer the national championship, it's the World Championship. So anyway, Pedro, if you have a connection over there, have them reach out to me. I'd love to get something going. That would be great. I do know the FLW contact from Portugal, so I'll reach out to him to see if there's any interest. Obviously, we didn't continue our relationship with FLW from last year to this year because of a lot of the variables associated with the Major League Fishing merger, and who knows where that's going to go or if that's going to go in the future. Kaylin Johnson said, thanks for the Redfish series, hoping it can grow to be bigger. Yeah, it's just like anything else. You start small, you work your way up. And so if you guys help spread the word, we'll get that going. John Dietz said, any chance of Lake Marion, South Carolina, PAX landing? We actually had an event on Lake Marion, Moultrie and Marion this year. kayakbassfishing.com/schedule. Let me actually post that up here. If you guys go to our website, there's a whole bunch of details there on all of our events, and it can keep you caught up. If you haven't done so yet, consider becoming a KBF member. Help support the community, help support the channel, help support our continued efforts to put more opportunities out there. So there's the link to that. And now what I'll do is give you guys a few minutes to ask questions. John Bolton's first question is, any updates on Christy's health? She's doing better. Still got some issues that we can't resolve because she can't follow up because of this coronavirus thing. We had a last follow up where we didn't get great news, didn't get horrible news, but we didn't get great news. So we're still trying to work through that. And as of right now, she's feeling better, but not great. And we just have to sit in the holding pattern and wait on the ability to, non-emergent stuff to go back to being able to get into hospitals. So how about an event on Lake Powell? Yeah, help us grow some interest and we'll get that going. Dan McGowan. James McFerrin said, how about a Heroes on the Water shout out, trying to get a chapter started again here in Middle Tennessee. I like that idea, James. Shoot me an email, kayakbassfishing@gmail.com, and I'll see what I can do to help you accomplish that goal. Team Muse Kayak Fishing. That must be Dustin there saying it was fun to fish from the bank since the wind was so bad to get out on the Yak. Yeah, that was actually one of the cool things about that event. And I think I'm going to do the same thing for the next one. In the Have a Sport app, you have to select boat, shore, small boat, big boat, kayak. And I think I'm probably going to select one, but I'm going to make it open to every type of fishing, at least for this first event. So maybe down the road we do a kayak event, boat event, and a foot event. We do a kayak and a boat and a foot. We have 3 different tournaments running simultaneously. So if you're on foot, you're not competing with guys in boats. If you're in a kayak, you're not competing with guys in the boat. And if you're on either one of those, boat or kayak or foot, you're not competing with kayak guys, and vice versa. So how will we be notified for the Half a Spot event? So James, you're going to have to follow me on social media, and you're going to have to follow the community tab on this page, or watch for another video where I announce it. I don't think the app allows you to take a link like you can on Tourney X and share it, but as soon as it's available, I'll post it on all my socials. I'll post it on the community tab here, and then I will likely go back and do a live video talking about it as well. Next question is Kenneth Paul. Kenneth Paul says, had an issue with Fish Donkey. Showed fish were submitted, but no images were present. Contact from Fish Donkey reached out unexpectedly and said it was on their end. Okay, I'm not sure if that was resolved, but if it wasn't resolved, Kenneth, let me know, and I'll see what I can do to help you out. Got it. I follow you on Instagram. Yeah, hey guys, if you haven't done so yet, please do me a favor. Go follow me on Instagram, on my personal page. A lot of members of this community are a member of the community page on Facebook, Instagram and Facebook. Join the Facebook group, Kayak Bass Fishing. Join the Instagram page, Kayak Bass Fishing, if you haven't done so yet. But also follow me on my personal page at Chad Hoover Fishing. Here, I'll put the thing right there. And boom, there it is. At Chad Hoover Fishing. That's weird, but that's me on Instagram, personal page. Go check it out. What is my favorite Columbia gear from Tackle Fishing Adventure? So Nick is asking me, what is my favorite Columbia gear? Honestly, it's probably my PFG hats, because I'll be honest with you, when you've got a bald dome like mine, you got to keep it covered, you got to keep it protected, and you got to make it look better. And so I love these Columbia hats, so I wear them probably more than anything else. I love their base layer stuff for hunting. I love their rain gear for fishing. I wish they, made more stuff in that line for the fishing side, but I really love the PFG storm jackets and the Force 12 stuff. I like the lightweight Tamiami shirts for fishing in the summer. Like the Zero stuff. Yeah, I like a lot of that. I really like their t-shirts. They make these new like super soft t-shirts. Obviously they're a little tight on the guns. I'm just kidding. No, I like honestly, man, I think I like everything they make. So yeah. Do you have any tournaments in Central Illinois? We don't have any specific KBF tournaments there, but there are several KBF affiliates there, and there's also clubs that aren't affiliated with KBF all over Central Illinois. So if you check out, that series, there's a Kayak Fishing League is out of Illinois, so you can check those guys out and jump in on that series. They do a great job, and Alan Wiedemeyer is one of the guys that started it and runs it, does a great job. So that's a good series to check out. Any advice on fishing deep water, like most of the lakes in Appalachia, Western North Carolina, and the Georgia areas? Here's my take on those lakes. I like fishing them after it rains when there's run out. I really like fishing them in the wintertime when the fish kind of congregate in the deeper areas. It kind of keeps you from getting to the situation where you're spooking fish in that super clear water. And I like fishing them at night. Yeah, so that's my advice. Fish them at night, fish them in the winter. And that's the best success I have in those types of fisheries. Or downsize. If you're going to fish during the daytime, Ned rigs and shaky heads and drop shots and things like that. Really light line and really small lures seem to work great in those reservoirs. I'd like to see some striper tournaments. Yeah, me too. We're working on that. In fact, I have the board out in my truck from Catch. That's the extendable board, the folding board, so we can start experimenting with playing with bigger fish tournaments. Ron Himmelhaver, who runs the Trophy Catfish Kayak Anglers, is doing the same thing. Is using that board for some of the bigger fish stuff. So we've got to get that dialed in. Yeah, so we'll go from there. And then we'll look at some striper shootouts and things along those lines. There wasn't anything we could do to repost the images. Part of their anti-cheating protection. Live and learn. Technology isn't perfect. Yeah, Kenneth, that was another problem that I had with Fish Donkey, is you really couldn't do anything other than if the photo wasn't taken in the app. And in a situation like yours where it didn't load, there was no recourse. So I understand the principle behind it. They want the photos to only be taken in the app, but in situations like yours, you're screwed. You fished that whole day and didn't get anything out of it. And I'm sorry, I wish there was something we could do. Was your personal best close to home or out on the road? Also, thanks you for the videos. My boys and I love watching them together. My personal best was, well, I've got two personal bests that are exactly the same. And I had a U-Haul truck broken into when I was in the Navy. I had transfers called PCS, permanent change of station. I had transferred from one area to another, had a couple shoe boxes full of stuff. And when they broke into my U-Haul truck, they cleaned it out. It was like a system where these people would follow the trucks into town for military people because there was a high turnover. And then in the middle of the night, they would hit the truck, open the door, and they'd have 3 or 4 guys throw stuff into the back of a truck. And it would drive off. Another one would pull up. And within, a minute and a half, they would empty a trailer. So they emptied the trailer of a bunch of my pictures. But I caught one of my personal bests. It was a 14.2 on Sandy Cooper in South Carolina, on the Lake Moultrie side. And then the other one was caught in a borrow pit off the side of the interstate. It was public property, but it was also off the side of the interstate. So it wasn't like, I don't think it was legal for me to launch there, but I was 20 something and didn't really care. I'm not advocating it. I'm just saying, yeah, those are the two biggest fish I've ever caught. And then right up there, if you've seen some of my videos, there's a 13-pounder up there. I caught that down at Mossy Oak Properties in Livingston, Alabama. And then I've got a few 12s and then a buttload over 10. So, but yeah, my personal best was caught in Sandy Cooper, South Carolina. I tell the story about it in my book, Kayak Bass Fishing. And I should probably do a video talking about it. Let's see here. Quick, fun joke from Tackle Fishing Adventures. Where does a sick boat go to? I don't know. Sick Bay? Walker Fishing. I had a lot of fun. Thanks, Chad. Jason C. Most of the fish I've caught were in cold weather. Can I delete the Fish Donkey app? According to James McFerrin, yeah, you can, because I'm probably going to. No biggie. Just wanted you to be aware. Thanks for your service. Enjoy the shows. Thanks, Kenneth. Appreciate that. And will I be coming to Georgia? Yes, I am coming to Georgia. I am working on a couple of trips there right now. So yeah, stay tuned for that. I'll be posting it on my Instagram when I'm headed that way, where I'm going, when I'm going, how long I'm going to be there, all that good stuff. So, Tackle Fishing Adventures said, the answer to the joke, where does a sick boat go to? The answer is the dock. So, any chance you'll re-release the Long Branch Lakes Whopper Plopper fish catch video? Yes. Or you could just go rewatch it. But yeah, I can do that. That's a good idea. Actually, I think I might relaunch like a kind of like a best of video or something like that. How many guys want to see like a best of video? I'm sitting here, I'm on quarantine. Actually, I'm going to try to go fishing Thursday and Friday and stay in compliance with the social distancing stuff and not go to jail and set the example. But I am going to try to get out and go fishing on Friday, Thursday or Friday, one of the two. So stay tuned for some videos on that. All right. Anyway, guys, I'm going to lock this thing up right now. Next question. Chase O'Dean said, thanks for your service. Thank you, brother. Thanks for your service. And next question is going to be my last one, and then we're going to call this thing a day. And oh, by the way, I released a video earlier about a KBF member-owned business from a gentleman named Joe Comiotti. He won the 2019 KBF Redfish Open, Palm Coast, Florida, last year. Go check out this video on his lure company, Striker with a Y, Stryker Jigs. And I'll answer the next question. Any trips planned around the Maryland area? Yeah, when I go to Virginia, there's some stuff I do around Maryland. And when I come to Stafford, Virginia in June, that's going to be pretty close to Maryland as well. I mean, in fact, you're like right there. You can see across the Potomac to Maryland. So I'll be in the Maryland area. Any trips planned? Oh, any chance you'll be coming to Southern Ohio? Yes, I go to Southern Ohio on a semi-regular basis. Once things get back going, I'll be going. James McFerrin said TWRA, that's the Tennessee Wildlife Resources Agency. For those of you that don't know, says fishing is essential. They did say that. I agree. And so I'm going to take full advantage of it. All right. You guys have a good time for the rest of your day. Enjoy yourself. Get out there when you can. Spend time with your family when you can't. Enjoy it. Take it in. There ain't nothing else. There isn't anything else we can do about it. So you might as well make the best of it. Sort some tackle, organize some gear, go for a walk, lift some weights, eat less, do something. So anyway, love y'all. See you in the next video. Peace, and y'all have a great one.